with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelmkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
This school year's in full swing. Students are back in class learning, making new friends, and developing new interests. I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Parents, communication is key to helping your child succeed. Talk with your child and with their teacher. Whether your student is a high school senior or navigating the new world of kindergarten, keep an open dialogue about what they're learning. Let's make this the best school year yet.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Happy hour.
Sipple and I walked by the offensive line. Sipple made a comment. Man, you just think that like the opportunity at generational wealth would make you want to get out there. And I thought about that with a lot of these guys, whether it's mentality purposes or their willingness to get their body right, compete. Just overall,
Off the field, off the court, in the classroom, it's a competition. I mean, you've heard the quote, if you're not working, there's somebody else who is working.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
September 17th, 1994 was the first what? Let me think for a second.
Game against UCLA, number 13 UCLA in town. College game day was here, but that's not what he's talking about.
I played in that game. I had a couple carries in that game. You give it to you? Please give it to me. September 17th, 1994 was the first year of the tunnel walk, and it has been going on for 3 decades later. I was there, but you don't. It was a blur. It was all a dream.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Away we go on a Thursday show here on the Block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you as always from 2 to 4 weekdays.
That's a fact.
And it's not just us talking to you. We love it when you talk to us. We have our text line available for you at 402-464-5685. We have our comment sections on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter available for you.
I love the blockheads that bag Stricky.
All five of you staying strong.
all the ones that know that Austin cheats me on Shootout with Strick.
Hey, you're in for a treat.
Yeah!
You're in for a treat today. Shootout with Strick will come up in pretty much exactly half an hour. 2:45 we'll play the game, courtesy of Buffalo Wings and Rings. So definitely stay tuned for that. Make sure you also check out NEBCO. At least say thanks to NEBCO for sponsoring On the Block if you're appreciative of the show, if you like listening to or watching the show. Nebco is the sponsor that makes this show possible. They're hiring for a couple different companies, including constructors for general laborers and ready-mix concrete for CDL drivers. Either of those or a new career sound interesting to you, check them out at nebcoinc.com. Nebco's been in business since 1908. They're a staple here in the not just Lincoln community, but across the state of Nebraska. We appreciate them. We highly recommend them. We respect them. We hope you do as well. Stricky, I'm sorry I was on the far side of the room and I couldn't jump in front of the gun that Nick pointed at you at the end of crossover there.
Yeah, man, you're supposed to be my secret service, man. And you let your boy down, man. You let your boy down, man. You're supposed to find a way to get in the way of the shots fired.
And I didn't do it.
You let me down, my boy.
I didn't do it.
It's okay though. I'll forgive you this time. If it happens again, I might not be here on the block.
Yeah, one more time. I don't know if your heart can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got love for you.
Got love for you.
I got nothing but love for you. No, but anyway, hey, listen, it's a beautiful day, man, to be on the block. We appreciate you guys and your continued support. We also appreciate, guess who? Nebco. Why is that? Nebco and all of the wonderful things that they do in our community. You know, they're hiring CDL drivers. They got a lot going on at Nebco. One of those things is they've got all positions available from bridge builders, operators, drivers, mechanics. Man, you can get it all done. $23 and up based on experience. Visit nebcoinc.com and constructorslincoln.com to check it out and join the crew and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. And we guess who went way back there too?
Sister Jean. Not quite that far, but almost.
Almost got done. By another 9 years, she would have been there.
Nebco outdates Sister Jean. Think about that, y'all.
Local. Support your local businesses today. One local business came through and dropped it like it was hot. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul.
Woo!
They used to work with On the Block. You know, they used to be a On the Block favorite, and they still are because they do come down and support us. Wednesdays they come down, bring us nice hearty meals, and we appreciate them as well. What we got today, man? Great show for everybody.
Yeah, you want to talk some Joey Votto?
Oh, that's your boy.
Kind of. Long time MLB player. One of the first baseball players that I remember is Joey Votto. And he's one of those guys, Strick, in sports. I mean, I'm sure you can think of some from the NBA or even the NFL that like nobody has a problem with. You know, everyone seems to enjoy and appreciate Joey Votto for what he is, who he is. Won an MVP, finished second in MVP. Back in 2017 already is when that was, but it feels like it was just yesterday. It was 17, not 18. Joey Votto was such a good hitter. So long. A lot of black ink on his baseball reference page. It's hard to say he's, it's impossible to say he's the best Cincinnati Red of all time. You think of the Big Red Machine and those guys take the cake. But it would be disrespectful not to at least throw Joey Votto's name into there. He was a savant with the bat in his hand. Really good hitter, great eye at the plate. Decent enough defender, ended up winning 1 Gold Glove in his career, but was never a terrible defender. And this is a guy that, got released by the Reds, tried to make a comeback with his home country Blue Jays, and it just didn't quite work.
Is he on the level of Tony Gwynn? Where would you
They're different players.
Okay.
I mean, you got to give deference to Gwynn, right? He had the high average. Votto could work himself a walk, though, man. He was the king of the walk over the productive out. He just found a way to get on base.
Yeah, he's going to make sure, you have a high pitch count when you got dealing with Votto.
Joey Votto fouled out to the first baseman, right fielder, or catcher twice in his Major League Baseball career.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's tough because as you're trying to
over 17
defend
years.
the plate, you're trying to defend the plate. Those things happen just by the defense. And the fact that only happened twice in his whole career, that means
2 foul outs
on top
the
of balls.
Side.
Yeah, he's on top of balls, and he's got a great eye, staying away from things that get you in trouble. Yeah.
So Joey Votto, calling him a baseball legend feels like a stretch. He is absolutely a Cincinnati Reds legend. But I saw this thread on Twitter, Strick, from someone named Matt, Legendary players who retired with Toronto's AAA team without ever playing for the Toronto Blue Jays. What if I told you, 2001, the Toronto Blue Jays signed a Nebraska football opponent to a contract? Deion Sanders signed with the Blue Jays, was at AAA. It was with Syracuse, the AAA team. Never made it to the bigs. Okay. Vlad Guerrero, senior, not junior, right? We know junior plays for the Blue Jays. But Vlad Guerrero, senior, after his long career, signed in 2012 with the Blue Jays. Never made it to the big leagues. And now Joey Votto. And there's also, later in the thread, Johan Santana.
Wow.
Cy Young winner, top of his game with the Twins and then with the Mets. Signed a deal with the Blue Jays, made it in the minor leagues, and never back to the majors. Joey Votto had a really just on-brand Joey Votto Instagram post, farewell. He's never been one to beat around the bush. He's never been one for flowery language. And Joey Votto said, plain and simple, I sucked. I knew it was time, you know? Not every athlete has that realization, Strick, after a 16, 17-year career to finally, you know, say, you know what? I gave it a run this year. I'm not getting back right now. You know, only more time's going to pass. So Joey Votto, I think, retired in the most Joey Votto way possible. And that's a no doubt Hall of Famer in my eyes.
My question then becomes this. Do you think that the Blue Jays is kind of like that team that the Cowboys try to be sometimes, or used to be, where they'll take a flyer on an older guy? It just seems like they have a willingness to see that there's some superstar power. Maybe there's a revitalization of their pop or their games, or, you know, maybe good locker room guys. I don't know, but it seems like they don't mind going after just some older guys that had great success throughout their, you know, the heart of their careers.
I think they do it for different reasons. If they do,
Yeah.
The Cowboys are big name chasing. They're star hunting, right?
Yeah.
They're not necessarily, it doesn't seem like from the outside, as focused on the player as they are the name. The Blue Jays, I think, did all of these legitimately. Maybe Deion played him a little bit back in the day, you know, trying to get out of training camp, whatever it was, as long as he's on the 40-man. But if you look at the other guys, I mean, Johan Santana in 2015, he was at the end of his career, but that's a veteran left-handed pitcher that knew how to spin the baseball. He never relied on overpowering velocity, so he was at least worth a flyer. Joey Votto was at the end of his rope, right? Couldn't catch up to the fastball anymore, but he's Canadian, great locker room guy. If you want a mentor for, you know, Vlad Guerrero Jr., what better guy to get than Joey Votto? Extremely well respected. And even Vlad Guerrero Sr., don't forget, he started his career in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, mini homecoming. Hey, let's bring him back home. He was popular here the first time. We know what happened at the Expos. They had to end up letting him go. He wasn't the same player, but again, I think that was at least worth a shot, right? You're not asking him to do a whole lot, but could he make the team on the bench and provide some pop at the end of games? You know, can he hit you a double? Can he pinch run for him? Can he hit you a late home run? Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe there are other cases in there that, you know, not to this. Excuse me. Thank you. This level of player. I don't know enough about the Blue Jays transactional history to say for sure that they are. But let me ask you this from the text line, Strick. Tommy asks, is Joey Votto the Jason Kidd of Major League Baseball?
Actually, you know what? That's actually not a bad, you know, cross-reference. Yeah, I mean, there are a few guys like that, but I think he did it. He's one of the better ones to have done it, to have kind of, especially going back home to where it all began for him. Obviously, he's not from Dallas, but where it all began for him to come back and then to be able to win the ship that got away from him in their earlier days. There was some levels of maturity that come with that. I think that sometimes is what they bring. Great locker room, great maturity, can help mentor, maybe get him with a young guy that, you know, can help to kind of just show him how to be a consummate professional. So yeah, sometimes those things happen, and I can understand why they bring them out. This is why you keep guys like what's my guy in Miami?
Oh, Haslam.
Yeah, Udonis Haslam. You keep guys like that around because they have a way of connecting the old with the new.
Yeah.
And there's something that comes with that because they can reference a place of what it looks like to be a champion, to be a winner, and they can seed that hopefully to the next group of up and coming players.
Two key differences between Jason Kidd and Joey Votto. The similarities are that, yeah, pretty versatile players, fit in, respected veteran in the locker room, whatever. Jason Kidd was very highly drafted, second overall in the 94 draft, all rookie team, everything. Joey Votto was under the radar. The Reds took a flyer on him. He was not a top prospect in their organization. He was kind of an afterthought that just kept plugging away. Took him until 2006 to make it to the majors. That's a 3-4 year journey there. And then he was just Mr. Consistent, day in, day out. You can say that for Kidd. And the Reds never won a championship, right? Kidd got that one. Joey Votto never got the championship because the Reds were generally fine, but never really great with Joey Votto. And the couple times they made the playoffs, they just kind of flamed out. They never made an impact like they did, let alone back in the Big Red Machine days as they did in like the 90s. So,
would you say that they're part of the curse crew, the Reds?
They had so much success with the Big Red Machine. Like since then, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Okay, let's tie this together. Johnny Cueto. Do you remember that name at all?
No, I can't say I remember that one.
Okay, so Johnny Cueto, longtime pitcher for the Reds. The Royals actually acquired him in, was that late July, early August of 2015 to help their World Series run. Johnny Cueto actually just pitched for the Angels last night at Kauffman Stadium, which is kind of cool. But the one Cincinnati Reds playoff appearance I remember was in that 2013, 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. Johnny Cueto gets the ball to start the playoff game in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Stricky, the Pittsburgh crowd is so loud. Johnny Cueto just straight drops the ball. Right? It's not Mike Trout going, 0-2 against the Royals. But that's my one lasting memory of the Joey Votto Reds in the playoffs. It's not something Joey Votto did. And his pitcher just dropped the ball because of the noise level. He was so shook.
So, I mean, this happens though. I mean, I understand that. Guys, are you like putting that on par with like a Chris Webber timeout?
Oh, no. Like baseball is so much more difficult for one individual that's not a starting pitcher to impact. I guess I'm just more bummed for Joey Votto that he didn't get more playoff runs because he seems like a good guy that deserves success.
Okay.
I think Freddie Freeman ends up with a better career than Joey Votto. Canadian first baseman. Freddie has the rings to prove it. So I think what Joey Votto did was set the foundation for Freddie Freeman. I'll phrase it that way.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Joey Votto. Again, there's so many guys that have great careers, and he's one of those good ones that you just want to root for.
For sure.
Yeah.
Shirky, what if I told you someone laid out a path for Nebraska football to be in the top 10 this year?
Is that Cap?
You drinking that Kool-Aid?
I don't know.
You sipping that Kool-Aid?
Let's talk about it.
We'll take a break. We'll dive into that next. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get?
Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com. Serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers this morning, then partly sunny skies the rest of the day. We'll see a high around 83. Tonight, partly cloudy with showers and storms possible late. See a low around 66. And tomorrow, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny skies with the high near 86. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Old School with DP and J.
And, this part of camp it happens in high school camp, when they have a certain amount of time before their game, before school starts and all that. And then it happens in college and it happens in the pros. I had more fights with some of my good friends, the guys that I'm considered lifelong friends at this point in camp than with some, over-energized rookie trying to make a name for himself. Seriously.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
September 17th, 1994 was the first what? Let me think for a second.
Game against UCLA, number 13 UCLA in town. College game day was here, but that's not what he's talking about.
I played in that game. I had a couple carries in that game. You give it to you? Please give it to me. September 17th, 1994 was the first year of the tunnel walk, and it has been going on for 3 decades later. I was there, but you don't. It was a blur. It was all a dream.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
The kicker from Iowa. I don't know. What's his name?
Yeah, what's his name?
What's his name?
What's his name?
Help me!
No, you need to give the name for your
I
point.
don't know.
Tory Taylor.
Tory Taylor.
Yeah, and you didn't say that.
That's what I meant.
That's how you said.
But I said Iowa.
But you didn't get the guy's name.
But what does
We're
that
asking
mean?
for the name.
I gave the team and the player.
You did not give the player. You gave the team and the position.
This is a cheat.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you like that last promo, you won't want to miss our next segment. The game show returns, the shootout with Strick.
Oh, how funny is that?
Stricky, would you be laughing a crazy laugh or a happy laugh if Nebraska football reaches the top 10 in college football this year? Would it be maniac Joker laugh, or would it be, wow, this is so happy I can't believe my life?
What it would be to me is, if you're a Simpsons watcher, is there a person on there that you think I would pick to have the laugh? Who would you think? 402-464-5685. Who would you think it'd be?
Excellent.
There it is. That's how I would be if they pull that off. I'm gonna be in here like Mr. Burns, like I'm doing the most. Excellent. That's how I would be.
We'll get back to that in a sec. The premise in the question comes from Stuart Mandel of The Athletic, his mailbag that he does. Someone asked him to pick a team ranked in the top 10 and an unranked team to swap places before the playoff. So obviously, it gave the game away. He's picking Nebraska as a candidate. That's the candidate he wrote about to elevate into the top 10. But Stricky, what if Nebraska and Texas traded places this year?
They got them up in the top 4
in their playoff predictor.
Right.
Yes, that's the staff wide. Stuart Mandel is saying, as we get closer to the season, I do wonder whether Texas will be this year's inevitable preseason top 10 team that ends up going 7-5. For one thing, the hype surrounding them is based entirely on one great season after 13 mediocre ones before that. Their schedule includes the defending national champion in the preseason number 1, plus 3 out-for-blood rivals, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and A&M. All of those games are on the road. Georgia, Michigan, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas A&M.
Whew.
Or at least Michigan, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas A&M are on the road. I don't know about Georgia for sure. Okay, Texas is down Jonathan Brooks to the NFL draft, down C.J. Baxter, their starting running back, and freshman running back Christian Clark, season-ending injuries. Okay, Steve Sarkisian said he's looking for a late transfer at running back, which, to be up to Texas's standards, that's going to be tough.
Especially late in the game.
Mm-hmm. So he's not predicting Texas to go 7-5 and fall out of the top 10, but he says as he gets closer to the season, he's talking himself into the possibility more and more.
I mean, it's show and prove, basically, is what it's coming down to. But the issue that you have, right, that's going on with the Texas team right now, there's an interesting dynamic that could unearth it and make that prophecy real. And that's the quarterback battle between yours and Arch Manning. So with that schedule, you know that he can't go with Arch Manning off the top. It's just like, if
welcome to college football, young blood.
And they lose a game or two, they would be out for his head. And he just signed a freaking 7-year extension.
Sarkisian, yeah.
Yes, right? Mm-hmm. So they would be out for his head, like right off the top, right? So he can't do that. I think he can still give up one game. Yours, any of those tough opponents on the road, you could probably give him one. What happens if it's 2 or 3? So you've got that dynamic. You throw somebody into the mix, that's boom or bust. So it's very possible and it's very plausible that something like that can happen, Austin.
It's on the table. Now the Nebraska side of things, Stricky, we can really dive into this. Stuart Mandel on Nebraska. Consider, Matt Rule's first team went 5-7, yet 5 of those 7 losses came by 1 score. Okay, yep, we've heard that before. Huskers quietly fielded a top 10 defense that held its last 7 opponents, all conference foes obviously, to an average of 14.3 points per game, and that defense returns the majority of its key players. On the flip side, Nebraska was abysmal on offense in 2023, but the hope is 5-star freshman Dylan Raiola will elevate the Huskers along with help from new receivers like Jamal Banks and Isaiah Nayor. Here's the money paragraph. See if you can pick out the most interesting word in this paragraph to me, Stricky. But more than anything, Nebraska's win total could jump considerably because of its almost comical schedule. The Huskers get Colorado at home in their one big non-conference game, then somehow miss Michigan, Penn State, and Oregon in league play. Nebraska could very well be 7-0 heading into a near certain loss at Ohio State, knock off either USC or Iowa on the road, and top 10, here they come.
I mean, look, if you're reading a comic book or if you're reading a nonfiction story, yeah, you might be on to something. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks like when you're watching that movie and you're really good at just kind of interpreting it looks like that's what it's going to be. And then you've had those twists. This can either twist for the bad or it can twist for the good. Is there room for middle ground with Nebraska, right? Because that's I mean, if you read the tea leaves, it looks like all of this is plausible.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what you're going to get, who's going to step up. There's so many what do they call there are so many variables.
Yes.
That would have to like
align
that haven't always gone their way to make that happen. But it's very possible that they could come into it 7-0. It's very possible. But again, hopefully you're reading a good story and you get to the ending, and the ending is a good one. That's really what because you've been to those cliffhanger endings, and then all of a sudden it ends and you're like, what the heck happened? Like, that's stupid. That don't make any sense. Like, we could actually be sitting here at the end of the year saying that same thing. Oh, what the heck happened? Just like we did last year. I think I very much was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
The word that stands out is comical.
Mm-hmm.
That's how at least one national writer, and I'm sure others aren't far behind, view Nebraska's schedule. Comical. Laughable. A joke. Nebraska won't have an opportunity with a schedule like this again for who knows how long. That's why I think it's important that Nebraska is actually closer to a year 3 Matt Rule team than a year 2 Matt Rule team.
Mm-hmm.
Take advantage of the schedule. You will not have it this good again. It's going to take, like you said, a lot of variables lining up, all flipping Nebraska's way, all going the right direction for it to happen. But 2024 is more of the year than 2025.
Yeah.
Maybe Nebraska builds up and 25 doesn't look as challenging or as daunting after the 24 season's done. But as it stands right now, Strick, the 25 schedule is harder than the 24 schedule. If Nebraska, I'm not saying Nebraska has to make the top 10 to silence all the doubters, right? Because I'm with you. This fan base needs to accept some middle road if that's where it ends up. Not forever, but for this year. Nationally, I don't think Nebraska has to be a boom or bust program. Nebraska can find some middle ground. But if Nebraska goes 5-7 or worse against a comical schedule, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
That will tell so many people Nebraska might not be headed in the right direction as much as we think. And again, Nebraska doesn't have to start 7-0. It'd be really nice to kickstart the process, jump another year, go from year 2 to year 3 in, span of one offseason. That'd be awesome. But Nebraska finishing 1-4 isn't off the table, which would also be a problem because Matt Rule has said, we want to be a fourth quarter team. We want to be a November team. We want to be built for the Big Ten. Nebraska can't go 1 for November or 0 for November like it did last year.
Facts. And so my question then would be, Austin, and to the listeners, would you prefer Nebraska to make a late run, like maybe drop a couple in their early stages, right? Maybe you drop Ohio State, maybe you drop Colorado, and you win the others, right? I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Just for example, I get it. Yep.
And make a late run where that's the only 2 you lost. And you make a late run, or are you going to be more upset and disappointed that you lost those and then lost to like an Iowa and to a couple on the back end? What would you prefer the losses to come on the front end or the back end? That's basically ultimately what I'm coming to.
Mm-hmm.
The question is boiling down to what would make you give you more feel good about the program. All of them, which you do pretty well. You win games, but you do it more on the back half or in the front half.
What if I again take the middle road and tell you that if Nebraska is going to lose games, let's put them in the middle. You can't lose to Colorado again. There's more Colorado headlines, right? Their guy that went over to Saudi Arabia asking for public investment fund money. Their special teams coordinator just, up and leaving. You can't lose to Colorado again. You can't afford that. The fans wouldn't be happy with that. You can't afford to drop that one at home. You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't lose to Rutgers. That's probably the toughest game outside of Colorado in the first 6. You can't afford to lose to Rutgers at home. You can't do that. If you tell me Nebraska goes 10-2, I think the ideal losses are at Ohio State and at USC. You have to beat Wisconsin sooner than later. I don't care that they're not a divisional opponent anymore. You have beat Wisconsin once in football. And guess what? They made up for it with the bigger win later that year. You can't lose to this Wisconsin team again. If you go on the road and beat Iowa, Stricky, talk about a comical schedule. Iowa's is almost more comical than Nebraska's.
Yeah.
Maybe even more comical to some people. Oh, if you go on the road and you beat Iowa, oh boy. Which also, by the way, Kirk Ferentz suspended for the first game for recruiting violations.
Did see that.
For Cade McNamara, who went 8 of 21 in practice. So hope that's worth it for you there, Kirk. But I really think that I'm talking myself into USC being in that 7-9 win range now. Don't know if that's smart or not, but that's kind of where I've landed with them. Probably closer to 7 or 8, maybe 9 on the high end. Not a terrible loss if you go on the road. Ohio State's a top 3 team in the country. No shame in that. Hope you play better against them than you have in, most recent years past. If those are the 2 losses, you can tell yourself, okay, it was a talent disadvantage. Recruiting needs to get better, and we need to continue developing and getting more confident in the style of play. If you lose to anyone else on the schedule, it's the same old questions, and that's not progress necessarily.
Well said. I have to agree. I would prefer it to happen the way that you said it. And I think I would prefer them to be peaking and getting hot late in conference, because now if you're able to, if you took a couple lumps early, just making the adjustments, it's a couple things that happened with Dylan, just learning the whole ropes, feeling out the game. Maybe he makes one mistake, and I'm not putting this in there. I'm just saying,
just an idea,
and it ends up happening. But you show resilience. You show the character of your team. You establish that we're not settling for the mediocrity of what happened and transpired, and you grow from that, and then you start rattling off Big Ten games. Now you put yourself potentially in position to be fighting for maybe even a championship, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, I would hope that they be running late as opposed to early.
Let me throw this aspect of it out to you too. If Nebraska starts out hot, tells me the talent is there. Nebraska's more talented. Maybe it's covering up for some mistakes. Well, then those teams in the middle portion of the schedule are going to adjust. So then when you get done with USC, you have 2 games left against teams that think they have your playbook, that know they have your number in Wisconsin and Iowa. If Nebraska wins on talent early, hits adversity and road bumps in the middle of the schedule, it will tell me a lot about this coaching staff in terms of not just the mindset they instill in the team, but their tactical ability to adjust to other teams' adjustments. If Nebraska, like you said, gets hot and wins 2 of the last 3 or 3 of the last 4 at the end of the year.
I have no problem with that. What say you guys? 402-464-5685. I know we got shootout with Strick, but if you guys have some things that you have put out there on the Sutter Heyman text line, we will address them as we get back. But I listen again. I want to have a Mr. Burns moment. I want to come in here. I would even try to find a mask and come in here with my Mr. Burns look. If that happened, like that would be special. And
if Nebraska gets to 7-0, will you do it?
No, I think that's still too early.
Okay.
because if they fall off late, then, but I still think that would be excellent.
Excellent.
It would be excellent to come in at 7-0. The buzz going on in Lincoln during that period would be just amazing. And I still think Nebraska fans would be excited and fulfilled if they are able to get into a pretty good bowl game. I think they'd still be happy with that, to know that they're still playing when everybody else is at home. So we'll see how it goes. But we are excited for the season. It's going to be jumping off in a few weeks, so we're definitely excited.
9 days. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Jumping off in 5 minutes. Shootout with Strick. Call now, 402-464-5685. 4 questions for Strick, then 4 for you. If you win, you get $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. We'll be right back with the Shootout with Strick, wrapping up hour 1. Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street. Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at USC in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a downtown LA hotel, exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at USC. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Ready to upgrade your combine or header before harvest? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help you find the right equipment to fit your operations needs. Choose from 4.75% financing for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest-free waiver, followed by John Deere financial rates with approved credit through the end of August when you purchase a pre-owned S or X Series combine from Landmark. View our current inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Have you been told by your physician that your testosterone level is fine, but you don't feel fine? Get a second opinion. If your testosterone level is 200, 350, even 500, and you still have symptoms, come to Limitless Male. We treat the person and the symptoms, not the number. Our mission is for you to feel optimal again. So if you're tired all the time, no energy, brain fog, muscle loss, nothing left in the tank, get your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through August 25th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice New York strip steaks for $5.99 each, all-natural pork belly for $2.99 per pound, all-natural boneless shoulder pork roast for $1.99 per pound, and Busch Light 30-packs for $17.99 per pack if you buy 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry.
This deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Is it time to replace your AC? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important, though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at the lnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
Y'all scared? 402-464-5685. You cannot let Stricky get away with not playing the game.
Sure you can.
No, you can't.
No,
No.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is not a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful every now and then to let Stricky win. Ooh, that's a
Come
bar.
on.
That's a bar. Every now and then, just let Stricky win.
So, Stricky, you've said that you can't sing. I disagree. You got some pipes on you.
Negative.
Have you considered writing?
No, I really haven't. I do got bars though.
You spit some bars, Stricky.
I do have some bars. Hey man, and I'm not talking about bars on O Street. I'm talking about lyrical. I'm a lyrical genius.
Hey, your bar gets brought to you here on Thursdays.
It sure does. Uncle Kevin will be in the building. Shout out to him, Kevin Myers, Cork and Bottle. Myers Cork and Bottle, but Kevin
Myers Cork and Bottle.
Yeah. Uncle Kev will be in the building. I just want to know if he's got a pop for me or a clicky for Stricky.
There's always a fizz.
There's always going to be a fizz.
Pop or fizz.
It's going to be a pop or it's going to be a clicky. Whichever one it is, I'm excited.
We're about to have a dud of a segment if you guys don't call. We
No,
really need
We're gonna
someone.
have a great
402-464-5685.
Let's talk about it. What they talking about on the Sutter Haven text line?
Yeah. Let's hit the text line up
What y'all
here.
got going on?
Let's see. 5871 says, just beat Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Downtown Scott says, dropping Colorado will hurt in the moment, but isn't the end of the world. They're dangerous. 6828, I cannot handle losing to Colorado again. What say you, Stricky?
I would love to send Dion a message saying, damn, we got that ad. Oh, I can say that. Yeah, we pause. But yeah, I would love to
send your boy, Dion.
Yeah, I would love to text him and be able to talk a little bit of trash. But like you said, they're going through a little phase of their own.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to jump on teams like that have whatever internal doubt or internal strife or whatever they got going on. You don't ever let a team think that they can come and just, start throwing symbols and doing all the funny stuff because they will. You want to beat the brakes off of them. Just it's similar to what Oregon did to them. You want to treat them like.
Mm-hmm. We don't play.
There's a song out there. I'm not going.
Hey,
treat him like a pro.
Think the song in your head. We're going to take 10 seconds for station ID, and we'll be right back with Augie for the Shootout with Strick.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Augie, even if you don't win, you have our respect. Thank you for calling. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good
How are
deal.
you folks?
I'm good. Stricky's scared.
No, I'm not.
Well, you should be. I'm on a streak.
All right, Augie.
On a streaky streak.
Ooh, keep that energy, Augie. Keep that energy. We'll get Stricky his questions, then we'll get to you. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, Stricky, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the first Canadian to be named MLB MVP. Justin Morneau or Larry Walker?
Walker.
Yep, he's been named first-team All-NBA the most of any Canadian. Steve Nash or Shea Gilgeous-Alexander?
Say, what was the question?
Named first-team All-NBA the most of any Canadian.
Nash.
Yep, he made 211 field goals in 12 NFL seasons. Steve Christie or Sean Sweezum?
Sweezum.
Yep, and the award for college football's best defender is named for this Canadian.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nurse, no. At the buzzer. It was late. Bronco Nagurski.
I said it!
Late!
It was off the fingers!
It was not off the fingers.
Man, you didn't even see me!
Not off the fingers. Not even close.
I said nurse! Man, here
First
we
of all,
go
Nagurski,
I
not
said
Nursky.
that.
You did
Nagurski.
not. You didn't get it off.
Wow. Here we go again.
Okay, Augie, 3 to tie. 4 more to win. You ready?
Yeah, I don't think he has to worry too much. I don't know my friends from up north that well.
Well, good thing they're 50-50 questions set for the last one. Your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the first Canadian elected to the MLB Hall of Fame. Fergie Jenkins or Eric Gagne?
Go Gagne.
It was Jenkins. He's the most recent Canadian NBA lottery pick. R.J. Barrett or Zach Edey?
Edey.
Yep, he was a third-round pick by the Minnesota Vikings. Nate Burleson or Chase Claypool?
Claypool.
It was Burleson, and he's the most recent Canadian to win the MLB Home Run Derby.
Canadians in baseball, my two favorites. Hank Aaron, I don't know.
The answer, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Vladdy, born in Canada. So you know what that means, folks.
Celebrate, Strick.
Augie, your streak comes to an end because of your two favorite things, Canadian and baseball. You are a hero. Thank you for calling and giving us a segment. Better luck next time.
Excellent.
Go Sweat.
Well, there you go, Stricky. You did it.
Yeah!
You don't even need to check the tape.
I said Nagurski.
You said Nursky, and it was after the buzzer started sounding.
Can't believe. Sauter Heyman text line, get at it.
Hey, deep breath.
Sauter Heyman text
What do
line.
you hear? What do you hear? What I thought.
Okay. Good game, Augie.
We do still have the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings to give away here. So, we play the tiebreaker question. Over, under, or push, Strick's answer text line. We'll make it first texter. First texter into the right. Not one. That's too simple. Texter number 5.
Okay.
Over, under, or push. How many NFL Hall of Famers were born in Canada? How many NFL Hall of Fame players were born in Canada?
Hall of Fame.
NFL Hall of Fame players.
21.
Stricky says 21 NFL Hall of Famers born in the country of Canada. Over, under, or push his answer. 402-464-5685. Texter 5 with the right answer gets $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. When we get back, how many Husker single-digit players will be drafted in the next year or two? And then the Kansas City Royals off today, and they embark on their toughest stretch of the year. Will they still be in playoff position when we talk to you again in 3 weeks? Don't go anywhere. Hour 2 of On the Block, brought to you by Nebco, comes your way momentarily. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
Is it time to replace your AC? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important, though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
It's time for a home technology makeover. And with special Labor Day savings on top name electronics, you can take your home, backyard, or tailgate to an all-new level. Choose from top name TVs like Sony, LG, and Samsung, including Samsung's popular frame TV that blends seamlessly into your decor. Experience game day throughout your entire home with a new audio system from Sonos, now with special Labor Day bundle savings. Transform your game day this Labor Day with the experts at Schaefer's.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products Electronics. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by Nebco. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 on a Thursday show brought to you by Nebco, as all shows are. Big thanks to Nebco for sponsoring On the Block. I'm Austin Norman. Eric Strickland is to my left, your right, if you're watching on our streams, brought to you by Starter Heyman Jewelers. Got the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings to give away here quick. Correct respondent is 6549. 6549 will get in contact with you. Need your name, and we will have $30 in gift certificates to Buffalo Wings and Rings waiting for you here at the station. The question was, how many NFL Hall of Famers were born in Canada? Stricky, you said 9 plus 10?
No.
21?
I said 5.
Stricky said 21. The answer is 2.
I had 2 in there.
Including
2 minus 1. I mean, that meant
is 1.
Oh. Well, 2 plus 1
is 3.
Yeah, there we go.
But the answer is 2.
Oh.
What are you trying to do? You're wrong. It's okay. You won the game. It's okay.
What's my name? The champ is here. The champ. Augie, yeah. Yeah. I got you, my boy. Listen, Augie came in here. He was running the choppers. Stricky had to get him. That's how
Stricky got him. Stricky clipped him.
You can't keep talking to Stricky. You can't talk greasy too much. Stricky will come back now.
He will. We've seen it.
Let's go.
The 2 answers are Bronco Nagurski, one of your boys.
Yeah.
And then someone named Artie Weinmeister.
Yeah, Nagurski is what I said before the buzzer.
You said Nursky, and it was Jesse. Sorry, Strick. It couldn't hear your answer over the sound of the buzzer.
Oh, Jesse. There we go. Siding with my... Listen. Okay. I lost again. What is it? What do they do? They give a petition, not a petition. They ask for a replay. What do they call it when you have to go to the camera?
Oh, you want a challenge?
Yeah,
you challenge it.
I got a challenge out there. Challenge, and I'm throwing it out to the jury in the Sauter Heyman text line.
So Jesse is Team Austin. Colligan J says both Austin and Jake think they run things, but they are just a small pawn in a much bigger game. Know your role.
Yeah.
My role is judge, jury, commissioner, and execution. Stricky's answer, chopping block. Didn't get it off. I know my role. I play my role.
402-464-5. Just put a thumbs down to Austin. Boo. And say boo. Yeah, I win.
Matt Blankenbiller, Matt B on the text line, good to hear from you, says, Austin, we'll beat Colorado. We have Dylan. It's Rule second year. It's at home. It's going to happen. I love it. It needs to happen.
I love it.
It can't not happen.
It's got to happen. Man, listen, even that night, Lincoln would be on fire, my boy. It beat Colorado, they'll be on fire. Lincoln will be on fire that night.
Brad, Stricky got it. Eric, it was so late the pass wasn't even to you yet. Huskers Peace, Strick, you were late.
Oh, wow, you guys. I thought we were better than that. At least you guys, well, maybe you guys got a delay. That's the problem. You guys got a delay when you're listening to the show.
The delay doesn't just work for you.
Yeah.
The delay would work for everything at the same time. Ooh. Ben, appreciate your text in as well. So.
All right. Well, you guys are turning against me again. It's all love.
You want to turn the conversation? What's on your mind, Stricky?
Yeah, man. I'm tired of talking about it because you guys continue to cheat.
Because you're wrong.
We're going to shift the conversation because it is, to me, We having a block party, but it's a pre, when you go out on the weekend, sometimes you get with your fellas or you get with a group of everybody. You jump on the little bike that rides down in the Haymarket and everybody's having a great time. You know what that's called? It's called a pregame. That's what's going on right here. We're having Husker pregame for the next few weeks. Obviously, week 0 is approaching, and we're going to talk a little bit about some Husker headlines and of why the 10 single-digit jerseys, 9 of them are on defense. And we're going to ask the question of you, and as well as my partner who is sitting across from me. I finally get to throw a question at him that maybe he'll answer, and he'll be late on the answer, and he'll take credit to say that he wasn't late at the buzzer.
The only way I'm late is if you're running the board and running commercials.
Oh, gosh darn.
You want to do that?
No.
Okay, let's continue.
And, ultimately the question then will become, how long will it take for an offensive player to the offense to basically balance that thing out? If it does get balanced out, this is hypothetical now.
Mm-hmm.
We know what it is: 9 on defense, 1 on offense. If it does get balanced out, what 2 rooms does it come from?
Well, one of them comes from quarterback.
Okay,
I think that's a pretty easy one to add in there.
But what if he doesn't want to change numbers?
See, that becomes an interesting conversation because at some point
he's superstitious.
Maybe he's superstitious. Maybe he does that. But here's the other thing, Strick. If you're the coaching staff, you can say, okay, yeah, we know you like your number, but your teammates voted to do this. Your teammates think this highly of you. If you don't accept this number when it's completely within the rules for you to allow it, that is putting self above team.
Okay.
I don't know if that'd be a conversation. I don't know if that's how Dylan Raiola thinks or acts. But we were talking about this a little bit with Jay on Old School yesterday. Every player has 2 numbers they want to wear. If you're Dylan Raiola, you want to wear 15, but you get voted as, one of the 10 single-digit guys. What's wrong with wearing 1 or 5? I know it's not 15, but...
Do you get a choice, or is it just given to you?
I would assume you get a choice. I don't know.
I wore number 6, and doggone it, I would be taking 6 again if it was me.
Yeah, I get you.
And I would be getting it because I'm not settling for nothing less than, I'm just playing.
Right.
I'm just talking. No, that's how competitive I am, though.
No, I get you. I love that from you. Yeah. So I think quarterback is an obvious one. I think Emmett Johnson can get there. So running back, I think, can add one. You already have one with Banks at wide receiver. Does Lloyd, does Coleman, does Barney, does Demetrius Bell grow into that role? I think you have a couple options in that room. And I think we would have seen guys on the offensive line get voted. It was Ethan Piper last year, so it's happened before, but he either couldn't or didn't want to wear it, and it made more sense for the team for him not to, yada, yada, he didn't wear it. For all the talk we've had about this guy, what if Fedoni works his way there? Does nothing to do with production, has nothing to do with potential. Is Thomas Fedoni a hard enough worker and respected enough on the team to get a single digit next year as a senior? I don't know.
Next year?
Next year. He's a junior.
I think next year, I think he learns a lot about himself this year. And I'm hoping he stays injury free. And some of the things that we talked about when we crossed over yesterday, just about his toughness. Like if he shows that, like for me, right? The Steelers have one that I would love to see Fedoni be like, and that's
Freiermuth. Where did you go to college?
Iowa.
Penn State.
Oh, Penn State.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Freiermuth.
Big Ten model right there for you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would love to see him become that kind of guy. Just a total utility guy. You can count on him wherever you put him, and he'll come through in the clutch when you need him. That's what I'm hoping. But I would love to see him become that. And I think this year is going to be a huge training platform for him to step up in that way. Yeah.
So those would be the guys that I think have the best crack at getting it back to even.
Okay.
Potentially. Do you get both Dylan Raiola and Heinrich Harburg voted single digits?
Oh, I mean, I think Heinrich could be a tremendous voice and leader in that locker room. I still wish he
wasn't in that room.
I still wish he was just using the great athletic abilities he has and use it elsewhere. But Like, if this is his continued dream, you can never knock somebody in how they feel about, because he may want to go ahead and be a doctor. Like, he may not even want to play football. He might want to go and be a botanist. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. He may have dreams. Like my son was the same way in that I told you guys, my son's like 6'6", 260. Like he was a big boy and
still is.
Yeah. And he just had other aspirations. So maybe Harburg fits in that category. Because if they're being honest with him, they definitely would have had conversations about switching if he wanted to play professionally.
Right.
Like, I don't believe Rule and his staff is those kinds that tell you that, that what you just want to hear. Like, they'll tell you what you need to hear, but I don't think they just tell you what you want to hear.
And I also think that they put it on the players at the end of the day, right? Yeah, they're the coaches. They could say, my way or the highway, but I think the coaches go in with a pretty detailed, or at least detailed enough plan when they propose a position switch. This is a group that proposes a lot of position switches.
Yeah.
AJ Rollins, Jason Mashashak, Ruquan Buckley switched sides at one point. Jeremiah Charles just this last offseason. Janarin Bonner the year before, right? This coaching staff, I think, is adept at having those conversations with guys to where it's not switch positions or you're off the team. It's, we like you as a player. We like your athleticism. We like your traits. This room is loaded. Your skills might fit better at this position. Would you like to try it out? Player says yes. Hey, off they go. Tommy Hill, right? They picked a lane with him eventually. Player says no. Coaching staffs who say, okay, we'll evaluate. But I don't think the coaching staff has kicked anyone off the team for not wanting to switch positions. I think the players would play themselves off the team. If they're not good enough at that position, they're not getting playing time, then they're frustrated. They didn't take the open door in front of them, and then they decide to transfer and leave.
Well, as we discussed that topic, let's shift the conversation a little bit, and let's move it on to a space where we'll do a little inside thinking and projection as to how many of the players that have received, or right now at this point have the single-digit numbers. Who of them do you believe will be drafted in 2025?
The one I feel best about is Tommy Hill. He was projected to be a first rounder by Field Yates yesterday. Number 32 overall to the San Francisco 49ers, who would be in this exercise Field Yates Super Bowl champion pick. I don't know if I see Tommy Hill as a first rounder right now. He can certainly get there with the traits and with the nose for the ball that he showed last year. Tommy Hill's a draft pick. I just don't know if it's first round necessarily. Let's go 0 through 5 and then 7 to 9. Nash Hutmacher has a chance. Needs another really good year. Jamari Butler's playing his way into that conversation with the added bulk, and he led Nebraska in sacks last year. There's a path for Jamari Butler to get drafted later, probably. I don't think he plays his way into even a day 2 pick, but I think Jamari Butler, someone would be willing to take a flyer on that frame, that size, that projectability. Isaac Gifford, probably not. Special teamer, maybe too much of a tweener. His brother ended up picking a position and carved out a rotational role in the NFL. I'm not sure Isaac gets drafted. Marquise Buford, fascinating case to me. 5'11", 190 is what he's listed at on Huskers.com. And don't forget, he played safety before this year at Nebraska. He's the starting corner against UTEP coming up in 9 days. If he shows ball skills and, is productive at corner, doesn't give the job up to a Bly Hill when he returns, for example, maybe someone takes a shot at Marquise Buford. Would be smaller, might look to move him inside. I mean, 5'11" and 190 is a safety. The average in the NFL is 6'1", 215. He's probably not growing 2 inches and 25 pounds. Who knows what that would do to his athletic gifts. Yeah. So probably not Marquise Buford, but there have been crazier draft picks before. Jamal Banks, we'll see. I don't know. Jamal Banks just kind of feels like, I don't know what he does on special teams, I guess. Could he be a rotational possession receiver? Probably. Is he going to be a difference maker in the NFL?
Maybe not.
He'll be a difference maker at Nebraska. I'll phrase it that way. John Bullock, the staff seems to like. I think that's a UDFA guy that gets an invite to camp. Hartzog, I just think he's too small. Maybe he has a better year. Just the inconsistency, right? Don't just rely, he's small, he's not going to get drafted. There's some real inconsistency there last year's Strick.
Yeah.
And maybe the process was better than the results, but it's a results-based industry. At some point, you got to put up production. And Malcolm Hartzog just hasn't done enough on the field to me consistently to make up for the frame that he has. Deshaun Singleton, we'll see. Injury concerns might scare some teams off of him. Maybe he has a good year and, has the Omar Brown season where someone takes a flyer on him. And then Ty Robinson. Do you think Ty Robinson gets drafted?
I think if Ty Robinson gives me the type of jump that Nash gave me last year, this year, and really holds down the fort and dominates the interior, I think he could. I would say 4 or 5. I think he can work himself to 4 or 5. And if he he would really have to be, I don't think he can be Indomitian, Sue. I don't think that's what we're talking about. But I do think he can be a Peter type. And, there was some draft there. Mm-hmm. I think he could, but is that going to be the case? It's really going to be up to him.
To your point,
I think he has potential.
Oh, he for sure does. To your point on Nash, Hutmacher in 2022 had half a tackle for loss and no sacks, playing in 12 games with 15 tackles. Boosted that to 40 tackles, 8 for loss, and 4.5 sacks last year. Ty Robinson, last year, 29 tackles, 4 for loss, and 1 sack. 4 tackles for loss, tied his career high. He's had 4 tackles for loss in each of the last 3 seasons. He had 2 sacks in 21, 2 in 22, then 1 in 23. I think Nebraska has so far missed an opportunity with Ty Robinson. That was a huge recruiting win. I'm somewhat surprised he's still at Nebraska with all the pedigree that he had coming out of high school and how big a deal it was for Nebraska to land him. I'm a little surprised he's still at Nebraska, unless it was a recruiting evaluation miss by all sorts of schools who have looked at his film and said, yeah, we like this guy out of high school. He's gotten maybe a little bit bigger, but maybe he's not as flexible as we thought. The repertoire isn't there, whatever. Maybe teams have come calling. Maybe they haven't. I don't know. Not trying to give anything away or insinuate anything. I don't know. But I feel like there are plenty of teams out there that if Ty Robinson was still the player we thought he was out of high school, someone would have come knocking. And maybe we would have heard about it. Maybe we wouldn't. Garrett Nelson did not get drafted in the NFL. Undrafted free agent, I believe. Yeah. O'Shawn Mathis, 6'5", 250, outside linebacker, DN type. 6th round, 190th overall, 189th overall.
He was I told you back then that was one of the dumbest leaves. He should have stayed. Mm-hmm. There's no way he projected to do what he thought he was going to do. Go ahead.
Garrett Nelson, his last 2 years at Nebraska, 20.5 tackles for loss, 11.5 sacks. O'Shawn Mathis, his 1 year at Nebraska, 5 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. His 3 full years at TCU, 30 tackles for loss, 15.5 sacks. Ty Robinson's not getting drafted, and that's disappointing. He was supposed to be the next premier pass rusher. Maybe he takes a big step forward and someone says, oh yeah, we remember scouting this guy out of high school. He hasn't even done what Garrett Nelson did. He hasn't even done in one season what O'Shawn Mathis did. O'Shawn Mathis was a huge disappointment at Nebraska. And we can go back and forth on, how he was utilized. It's not his fault as the coach. Yeah, whatever. It's all valid to some degree. Ty Robinson hasn't even had one of those seasons. If there was a time to have that season, it's now. But Stricky, I don't think Ty Robinson gets drafted.
The only way I could see really Ty getting drafted is that, like I said, he has a tremendous breakout season and on the interior. Nebraska's defense remains in the top 10 and they go to a big bowl or sneak in. Because it's showing an impact. If he shows an impact on the line and it has nothing to do with the run, that run game defense is like it was last year, but he has a huge impact on a lot of that. I think that could bode well for him. But I think it's going to require big wins and big showcases in the big win where he had an effect. He got to stop. It was 3rd and 2, fourth quarter. They're driving. He gets a stop, tackle for loss or something. Like you seeing these type of moments for him where teams are like, wait a minute, there's something going on here. He's taking on doubles. He ain't moving, and he's, making stops. Similar to what you seen out of some of the Georgia interior linemen. Like if you show him just dominating that interior up and across, able to get down the line, make some tackles on some cutbacks, where you're seeing athleticism as well as size, and man, it's possible. So I'm not gonna knock it out, but I think the wins are gonna make it possible.
Nebraska's got to win.
They got to win.
And Ty Robinson's got to be a part of that. We have a lot of comments on this here on the text line. Let's go to break. Let's dive into your guys' thoughts on the Nebraska defensive line. Is Ty Robinson a draft pick? Is there room for Cam Lenhart to sneak into the starting lineup? We'll get into that and plenty more here as we continue on the block.
Have you been told by your physician that your testosterone level is fine, but you don't feel fine? Get a second opinion. If your testosterone level is 200, 350, even 500, and you still have symptoms, come to Limitless Male. We treat the person and the symptoms, not the number. Our mission is for you to feel optimal again. So if you're tired all the time, no energy, brain fog, muscle loss, nothing left in the tank, get your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through August 25th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice New York strip steaks for $5.99 each, all-natural pork belly for $2.99 per pound, all-natural boneless shoulder pork roast for $1.99 per pound, and Busch Light 30-packs for $17.99 per pack if you buy 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn. HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com. Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane. It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Talking some Husker defensive line here, 9 days away from kickoff against UTEP. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland, the voices you hear during On the Block. 2 to 4 weekdays brought to you by Nebco. Let's see here. Mud Dog says, for what it's worth, I agree Robinson probably won't be drafted. You might be selling him a little bit short. He does a good job eating up space and plugging gaps. Stats won't show how much he does in the run game. He will no doubt need to be more disruptive in the pass game to catch NFL eyes. That's just the thing. It's not just about stats, but it's also not just about measurables. The guys that combine them are the ones that end up having successful careers. And I'm not saying Ty Robinson can't make it in the NFL. Right. I'm not saying Ty Robinson doesn't get a free agent invite. I just don't think Ty Robinson is going to be one of the, what would it be? I can do math. Like 240-ish best players, 250, 260 best players that team is willing to take a chance on in this year's draft. Not to say anything about his future, just in this one particular instance. I'm just not buying it right now.
Yeah, it would have to be a huge jump. And is it possible? I think within Tony White's system, it's possible. I really think it's possible. I mean, I loved how creative he was in shutting down the run like they did and making it hard for teams. I think they're only going to get better. The more that they know, the more that they feel comfortable. I think if they continue to tackle better, because there's been many cases where if they would have made the tackle, they had the guy in his arms, you make the sack, the game's over. They've had they need to they need to lock those type of situations in where you got a guy in your grasp and he's 4 yards behind the line. You gotta bring him down. Like, you can't let him get out and then he makes a throw, got on a crossing pattern, and they needed 12 yards and he ends up with 14. Like, we can't have those this year. Like, you've got to be able to lock that down.
Right. James and Lincoln points out that Ty plays a completely different position than Garrett Nelson and O'Shawn Mathis in a completely different defense.
Right.
He's asked to do different things. Correct. Right. And yes, you're right. But there shouldn't be that big a gap in production. You know, O'Shawn Mathis was extremely high on draft boards going into the year because of his previous tape at TCU and because of his frame. He played himself down in the draft. Ty Robinson still has to play himself into the draft, right? We talked about, you know, giving yourself cushion, right? Some room to fall. The reason O'Shawn Mathis was drafted was not because of what he did at Nebraska. O'Shawn Mathis was drafted off of 3 years at TCU of building hype, of building promise. Ty Robinson hasn't had 3 years of building hype and building promise. I remember he was out there as a freshman against Wisconsin, and people were excited. Oh, he held his own as a freshman. Ty Robinson's it. He's going to be a difference maker. He's a respected leader, and that's not nothing, but he's plateaued.
He's just been there.
The production is at the same level, even though he's getting older. And we'll talk about it in a baseball sense, Strick, right? And it's really any sport, but it's one thing if you're 19 years old in A ball and, you know, you're hitting 400. It's another thing if you're 19 years old in AAA and hitting 400. Right. If you do what you're supposed to do at your age, you get credit for doing it. But the guys that get more credit are advanced for their age, are putting up numbers beyond their years. And I just don't think Ty Robinson's numbers have, you know, lined up with his age and his experience. I've expected more. And then we get to this, Strick. 3591 says Cam Lenhart should start over Ty Robinson. What say you?
The same way that I would say Quinn Ewers should not, or Arch Manning should not start over Quinn Ewers. Like, I think he's gained enough respect. He's shown some production capabilities. I think Cam is on the upswing, but I also think you give him a chance. If he lets you down, then it's an easy conversation. But I don't disagree with him. I think Cam Lenhart, but the problem is that even though Cam Lenhart showed great promise, the injury, so I still don't have enough on him to say, is this sustainable? One thing that you can't say about Ty Robinson is that he's not like a monotone or a vibrational tone that's like, like, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That's the one thing I can say about Ty Robinson. There's not a crazy drop off, and it's not a super high boomer bust. It's not like riding a freaking roller coaster ride with him. You're gonna get pretty much what you're gonna get, and then you're gonna have some steps up. I think he needs a leap to get drafted, but I still think he's consistent. And we just haven't been able to see enough with Cam. Like guys like Cam Lenhart, right? With his abilities. Guys like that, when they jump on the scene, you don't have enough on them as a defensive tackle or a guard. You don't have enough on him to know kind of where his strengths are. What's his moves? What's his go-tos? So you can end up getting beat. Oh, he's quicker than I thought. Or, man, that rip move, okay, now I need to watch for that. Like, once you get enough of that where you can see it, you can kind of, they're unless they're freaks, you know, like not the freaks come out at, not that type of freak. We're talking about like of nature, like these guys that are anomalies, like players. So for me, I want to see him on without injury, full on. He's went through these early seasons. He's done his work. He's got busy. and then you get to Big Ten, and then then we're going to see. And hopefully he's healthy. I want to see him full year healthy.
We talked in the first hour about the case for Nebraska as a top 10 team. More production from the rush ends is always going to be helpful. I would not be shocked if Ty Robinson begins the year as the starter, but Cam Lenhart plays his way into that conversation.
I wouldn't
If
either.
2024 is so important for Nebraska, if this year's schedule sets up better than next year's schedule, Nebraska needs to maximize its amount of wins this year. Maybe Ty Robinson's leadership gives them the best chance to win, and if the coaching staff believes that to be the case, fine. We've heard no bad reports about Cam Lenhart, the person. We've heard he's a hard worker, good young man with a good head on his shoulders. So if Cam Lenhart is producing more in practice, play him. You can't afford to throw away wins by playing a less productive player. Any year, really. But especially this year. And that's no disrespect to Ty Robinson. But again, we're talking about as an NFL draft pick. Guess what? If you're not producing in the NFL, you'll lose your job. If you're not producing in college, a young guy takes your job. I'm not going to say I'm rooting for that. I hope both young men, succeed in whatever role they play. But Cam Lenhart, there's an opportunity there. That spot is not locked up. BU Bulldog on YouTube. I think that's where you're going to go, and I think we're on the same page. Along with Cam Lenhart, I can also see Riley Van Poppel pushing for a late season starting role. Absolutely.
I can see it too.
The worry for Van Poppel is that, don't do the Ty Robinson. You flashed last year in a couple games. What else you got? What were you in the lab cooking up? What were you in the kitchen cooking up this offseason, right? Don't be the same player that you were last year. And then the other comment you just flashed up there, Strick. It's astounding how big Nash Hutmacher actually is, yet he looks small next to Ty Robinson. Could be Nebraska's best defensive line since 2009.
You buying?
Yes. Potentially. Collins and Valentine were really good together. 2 defensive tackles on that kind of 4-2-5 that Bo ran. That was really good. That's going to be tough to beat. Both those guys got drafted. I guess we'll see.
Just think if they would have stayed around.
Oof.
Oh.
Malik was ready. Valentine maybe could use another year.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. Earthquake Glue says, you're crazy. Ty Robinson will get drafted. Isaac Gifford, too. Do you think Gifford gets drafted? Honestly. Again, this is no knock on the young men.
A lot of people thought that, dang, my mind just draw a blank.
It doesn't help me when I don't know where you're going.
From a few years ago. He played the same position.
JoJo
Doman. There you go. A lot of people thought the same about JoJo. I think he has the heart to do it.
Yeah, Mud Dog. Thanks for JoJo. Yep.
Is he like Nate Geary? Is he? If he's
Gary
not like
Gary was better, Doman was better.
If he's not Nate Geary-ish, I think he's good in run support. I don't know fully. I would like to see him more in coverage. I think I've seen him get beat. I've seen him make some plays too. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he's a freaking. He's getting toasted. He's getting put in the toaster every time he steps out there. That's not the case. But if he's not on that level, then I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I need to see him in coverage. Will he be tested this year?
We'll see.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. But I don't know for sure if I'm sold on that one.
I am not. Thunderknock Collins, we see your text. Appreciate you texting in as always, our guy. Let's go to BJ in Wichita here. He says Gifford and Robinson are camp invitees, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that's fair. Both guys have put enough tape out there to, I think, at least warrant a look. But BJ also sends this question, Strick. Does lack of length in the secondary matter? Or with 5 starting defensive backs, is length not as big of a deal for Nebraska in a 3-3-5 or a 4-2-5 like you'll see in the NFL?
Say that again.
Does the lack of length in the secondary matter? Or with 5 starting defensive backs, is length not as big a deal?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, right? You're going to be talking about it may not have the same effect in the college ranks, but when you like think about this, him matched up against DK Metcalf. him matched up against Marvin Harrison Jr. That's what you really got to think about, because if he's out there, they're going to find him and they're going to match up. And it's a matter of not how much you can be hid, but how much you can handle the exposure, and you're able to close the door when you're exposed to the elements.
And think about it in this way too. There are 5 defensive backs and there are 5 players on a basketball floor, but the geometry of the game is so different. You can cover for 1.5, shorter or less lengthy players on a basketball court. If you have a Wemby or a Jonathan Isaac, even like a Rudy Gobert, a Draymond Green, guys like that. But on a football field, there's so much more open space, and it's easier to isolate these one-on-one matchups, to your point, Strick, where Marquise Buford or Malcolm Hartzog wouldn't be matched up with DK Metcalf or AJ Brown, guys like that very often. Justin Jefferson, throw him out there. But if they're playing nickel corner, throw
which
a big
he's going to
slot
be.
on
He's
him
not going to be out. He's not going to be outside.
So you either get a taller slot receiver or you get a mismatch tight end, a Kyle Pitts type of guy on him, an Eric Ebron type on him, Gerald Everett even.
Tyler Eifert.
Right.
Those types.
If you match him up with a traditional slot receiver, absolutely, they can play a role there, and length doesn't matter nearly as much. But on a basketball court, you can essentially have all 5 guys stretch their arms out and get from sideline to sideline. That's not the case in the NFL. It's a different game where covering for that length, you either have to, like you said, have jump out of the gym hops and quickness and speed to make up for it, make sure you're in the right position, or you're getting bullied. Not just picked on, but bullied by NFL play callers.
That's a fact. That's all I'm going to say. That's a fact. They're going to find you. It's the same thing in the NBA for basketball.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many great things that you could do as a team role, and those things excel well if you're playing in European League or FIBA or anything like that. But, you get in the NBA, there's going to be moments where Al Harrington pushed Stricky out the way.
And got that work.
It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. Yeah. And you're going to get them eyeball sandwiches. That one-on-one isolation where all you can do is say, I hope somebody got my back. Or you got to be able to stay in front of them and say, hey, my boy, this is me and you. I just don't know if he's that. I really don't.
I'm with you. Mud Dog says length is important, but not more important than overall athleticism and being a playmaker and competitive. Correct. Right. Yeah. I would much rather have a guy be competitive, would much rather have him be a playmaker than looking for measurables, because Strick, that's how you hear about like a James Harrison, a Kenny Moore, pick your favorite, Muggsy Bogues, Spud Webb, Spudnick, like we had on during NC State's run. If all you're looking for is measurables, you're going to miss some really good players. But you also have to understand what role those players can play. Bring them in, see what they're capable of. Maybe they'll exceed your expectations. But you also can't expect Marquise Buford to consistently win one-on-ones with Marvin Harrison Jr. or even Jeremiah Smith this year, for example, right? It's just not fair to the player. You have to figure out not necessarily how to cover for them, but how best to use their skill set. Do you give them safety help? Do you try to bracket? When do you utilize them? I don't know. So yes, being competitive, being a playmaker is important, but having both Hartzog and Buford on the field, potentially on the same side of the field at the same time, that's not a lot of height, and that might get picked on.
And what I'm hoping for Buford's situation is that it was coming into the season. You had a really nice 6'3", not crazy speedy, but had enough, good makeup, length, all of that. And on one side, you knew what you had in a Tyrone Williams. You knew Tyrone Williams was going to be a draft pick. Went up to Green Bay. I think Tyrone may have been the 3rd round pick, if I remember it. Maybe first. I think it was 3rd though. But I could be wrong. Maybe 2nd. But on the other side, you didn't know coming in what you fully had in Michael Booker. And he ends up getting drafted early. And I'm missing on the round, but Michael Booker ends up getting drafted early.
Yeah.
By the Atlanta Falcons and played well for them. Not super long, but played well when he had opportunity. I'm hoping Buford returns into that, where you don't have high expectations. You're looking at Tommy Hill. You're excited about what the prospects of what he's going to be. And then all of a sudden you emerge and become, something that was unexpected on that other side.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll go to break here, BJ. Yes, we hear you. We'll answer that last question you sent in after break. We'll get it in. We'll wrap up on the block right after this.
It's time for a home technology makeover. And with special Labor Day savings on top-name electronics, you can take your home, backyard, or tailgate to an all-new level. Choose from top-name TVs like Sony, LG, and Samsung, including Samsung's popular frame TV that blends seamlessly into your decor. Experience game day throughout your entire home with a new audio system from Sonos, now with special Labor Day bundle savings. Transform your game day this Labor Day with the experts at Schaefer's.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Looking for a place to host a one-of-a-kind private game day experience for your staff or clients? Courtyard Marriott downtown is just blocks from the stadium and steps away from all the fanfare. You'll enjoy use of an entire entertainment space, including outdoor courtyard, accommodations for 250-plus guests. Party starts 3 hours before kickoff, and they'll clean up while you go and enjoy the game. Call Courtyard Marriott at 402-904-4800 for more info or to book your pregame party today. Limited dates available.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are wrapping up on the block here on a Thirsty Thursday, waiting for Kevin Meyer of Meyer's Cork and Bottle to get in. Big thanks to Nebco for sponsoring the show. If you're looking to start your new career today, we advise that you go to nebcoinc.com, apply for a job at either Constructors, Lincoln, or Ready Mixed Concrete. BJ in Wichita sent in some good questions here. He says, I hear you about what you're saying. I meant about our collective depth in the starting defensive backfield for this season. Does the lack of collective length worry you? So Nebraska starters at defensive back, presumably, again, given the single-digit numbers, Marquise Buford, 5'11", 190. Malcolm Hartzog, 5'9", 180. Tommy Hill, 6 foot, 205. Deshaun Singleton, 6'3", 210 at safety. And then Isaac Gifford, 6'1", 205 at that rover position. That's not huge. Singleton, good size at safety, 6'3" and over 200 pounds. That's fine. Gifford is that kind of hybrid linebacker defensive back. Yeah, that pretty much fits. Tommy Hill, fine, average size, not the biggest guy, but not the smallest either. It's not necessarily NFL corner length with guys that are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4 that run like that. 6 foot's fine. You can get away with that if you're as athletic as Tommy Hill is. But I am maybe slightly concerned about it, Strick, and that's why I think a guy like Bly Hill would have been a huge addition for this team. He's 6'4". Again, to move as fluidly as he did, transferring in from St. Francis before. Malcolm Hartzog's played before. He knows his height. Nebraska's comfortable with it and with him. Marquise Buford, it's a different challenge at corner opposed to safety. So I'm curious to see if other teams notice that and attack Nebraska's, shorter guys, try to match them up one-on-one, or if Nebraska is able to compensate, cover for that, or if those guys are just good enough where it doesn't matter this year.
That's what's going to be the test. And trust and believe it's going to be tested. It's going to be tested.
As early as week 2.
It's going to be tested. So you're hoping that they live up to the standard of what the defense had put forth on last year.
Mm-hmm.
Truly be black shirts and understand what that's about. It's not just about being on the field. It's about dominating and controlling, and then you just hope your offense is able to fill in and become better than what they were last year. Measures don't have to jump off the charts.
Like Hart doesn't measure height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just really have to you have to, one, look at yourself individually and assess, are you doing enough? Are you preparing enough? Are you willing to take the challenge and meet the challenge when it's presented in front of you? And then lastly, how are we collectively? How am I working together? Is this a moment that I can cover? I'm not getting beat by broken
by breaking
coverages.
Inside when the only thing I can't do is get beat outside.
Right. Like we've seen that happen. We saw that in Minnesota with Hartzog. So you have to really look individually and then collectively. How can we be great for each other? How can we help each other when it's needed? I'm not going to jump routes just because I see it. I'm going to be disciplined. All of those things. And then when the big moment is there, I'm up for the challenge. Right? Whatever that is.
And sometimes the big moment isn't a game-defining play. Sometimes it's not like what happened to Hartzog with the touchdown against Minnesota. Sometimes it's a third down in the middle of the second quarter that becomes big later in the game. It doesn't feel like a big moment, but you have to treat every play like it.
Yeah, like that's one of the things that I always took onus on. I said, I want the best guy for that team because I know if I shut that down, I handle this, it's going to make it difficult for all the others. This is why I wanted Paul. This is why I wanted Chauncey Billups. This is why I wanted I wanted their best guy. This is why I took Brooks Thompson, and I was like, I like whoever he is, I want him. You know what I mean? Even Fred.
In that vein, if you're Tommy Hill, do you ask Tony White to shadow Travis Hunter week 2?
I would.
If you're Tony White, do you let him?
But this is where I'm saying to myself, if I ask this and coach thinks that there's another and a better way, I'm not going to get mad and upset. But I will present
not going to take it personal.
Yeah, I'm not going to take it personal, but I will present it to say, hey, Coach, I'm willing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able. If you need me or you want me, I'm making myself available to shadow and take this off the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then the coach can respect that. Maybe not this time, but there may become a time where then he looks at it and he makes that call.
In the way that you earn the ability to shadow Travis Hunter is you try shadowing Isaiah Nayor in practice, right?
Yeah.
Prove you can handle it, win your fair share of the matchups, and you go from there. It's been a great show here on the Block. Blockheads, as always, we appreciate you. Y'all were great here. All show long, but especially here in the Husker Hour number 2. We're going to get out of here. We're going to turn it over to Old School. But by get out of here, I just mean for on the block. We're staying put. Kevin Myers Cork and Bottle on his way in for Thirsty Thursday. And then the rest of Old School brought to you by the Mercado. This has been On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. We'll have a fun Friday show for you tomorrow starting at 2.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs.